Hey everybody, this is Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine again. I've got another email that just came in a couple weeks ago that I've been wanting to answer. It comes from Vicky, who lives out in Vail, Colorado. And Vicky asks this. She says, "Hi Tony, I'm a newcomer to all things outdoors and just bought my very first knife, a Daniel Winkler WK field knife with maple scales. Could you post a video on the best way to maintain the edge of my knife? I've heard that I can use rocks out of a stream. Is that true?" Hang on, Vicky. We'll be right back, and I'll answer those questions. Welcome back. Vicky, first of all, welcome aboard. I didn't see that you're a subscriber, but hit that subscribe button off to the right. There's a lot of benefit to do that. Congratulations that you're getting into the outdoor life. It is a very fulfilling hobby or lifestyle. Depends how you approach it. But the fact that you have invested in a knife, your very first knife, and it is a Daniel Winkler WK field knife, tells me that you're serious. I know Winkler knives very, very well. A couple years ago we were introduced to this guy right here, which is a camp axe made by Daniel Winkler. One of the finest that are out there right now in its category for its size and for what it does. It doubles as a tactical hawk as well. But we use that for quite a while. I still have it in my arsenal here. That says a lot. And then earlier this year, we happened to get the same knife that you have just purchased. The only difference is you said yours has maple scales. Ours has walnut scales on them, and they're sculpted, you know. And this is one of the finest knives that we've seen this year. It was nominated as the knife of the year, and it was one of them that was nominated. But to answer your questions here, first of all, there's a couple things that I'm gonna hit with you here. Let's talk about the method. You ask about grabbing stones out of a stream. The answer is yes. When I was a kid, that's how I was taught by my dad how to keep my knives maintained out in the field. He had nothing fancy in regards to gear at all. He would grab, you know, probably at least 2 stones, sometimes 3, and it would go from coarse to medium to fine. And he would, you know, nap them together and try to get them as flat as possible, and then rub them together, trying to get them, you know, even flatter. And then he would take those stones and he would sharpen those knives. And that's how I learned how to sharpen a knife, and did it that way for many, many years. And to be honest, I still do it now. But you know, it's 2019. We're getting ready to hit 2020 here pretty soon. Technology has really advanced in that time, and there are so many different types of field sharpeners out there that I would recommend, and I'll be showing you one here. But yeah, you can do that if you want to, if you're going to be into the primitive approach to the outdoors. But why go through that hassle to do that? You're not going to get as good of a edge on there. You can get good edges, but not as good as if you are using some type of honing system and stropping system. But this is a great knife. So let me tell you something here real quick before we get into that part. This knife, because of the fact that you have wooden scales, is going to take some special care, and you're going to have to treat your scales. And what I use here is something that's made by Wood Tramp Gear. It's called Bush Butter, and it's like a next generation fix and wax. It's got a blend of several different types of waxes and oils in it, and you can use this for a lot of stuff. You can use it for doing what I'm doing right now with wooden scales. You can put them on the steel itself. It forms a coating on there. You can put it on canvas. We have waxed canvases with this to make it waterproof. A lot of stuff you can do with Bush Butter here. And you just work it in. It's going to get a little greasy on your hand there. And I also work it in on the blade, because you want your blade to have some type of treatment on it to keep it from rusting, all right? But it's a great little product there. You can find that on woodtrampgear.com. I can't tell you the price. It's not a lot of money, but You get two pads of the butter. What I happen to have there is just some that's left over. But yeah, it does a great job on treating everything. So now we're going to get down to the brass tacks of what you asked me on what would I suggest as far as a honing system or a way to maintain your knives. And remember, again, I am talking about advanced techniques or methods, making it easier for yourself to do these. You don't want to spend your lifetime sharpening a knife. So I'm going to break away for just a second here. We're going to set up some close shots so you can see exactly what I'm going to talk about when I do it. Hang on. Here we go. Now again, we're talking about ease, quickness, etc., etc. It's almost 2020, so there's a lot of advanced products that you can use to sharpen knives. But a few months ago, maybe 3 months ago, we received something in a battle box of all things, and it came in Mission 56. And what you got in that mission, if you bought the Pro level, was this particular sharpening system from a company that is called V-Sharp, and this is the Warthog, or I guess it's made by Warthog, and it is the V-Sharp Classic II. We saw these at the Peoria, Illinois Knife and Gun Show at Exposition Gardens sometime back, and I thought it was pretty neat when I seen this. But what you have here is a sharpening system that is built on a spring-loaded platform that has these different sharpening stones in them. It's got one coarse side and one very fine side, and I think does it even say on here what that is? I believe it's 325 grit. But what I like about this is that it has different capabilities on angles for your blade depending on what pitch your blade has been built on, and they're really easy to snap in and snap out. Nothing to it really, and you can just turn them around real easy by just taking them out like that. You pop them out and you turn them around. There's one side that's it's not really coarse, but it's coarse enough to help you reset an edge, and then this is the fine side here. And just for the sake of the fact that I have no knives that need to be reset, I'm going to leave it with the finer side, and it has 3 different pitches. It's got 20, let me see here, 20, 25, and 30, right? And I'm going to go ahead and put this at 20. That's where I want mine at. You do snap that dude in there like so. Put that in like that. That joker is ready to roll. And same thing goes here. I'm going to put that in the 20. Right, there we go. That's what we're going to do here. Now, I'm not doing a commercial for this particular sharpener. It just happens to be one of those that I'm saying is very convenient for somebody that's, it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or not. I mean, it's a great sharpening system. I've used it a lot of times in these last few months. Really like it. And it's very, very easy to use. It's heavy duty. It's not made out of a bunch of plastic, and you can get on their website and you can purchase different grits of the hones themselves. But all you do is just hold on to this dude so it doesn't fall down, and you lay your knife flat. I'm using that Winkler knife that you have, okay? And you lay it flat up against the guide right here. And all you do is draw it down and out. and then that thing fell out because I didn't have it in all the way. Listen, that's my fault. That wasn't this thing's fault. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in there again. That was my bad. Yeah. Hey, come on. And we don't edit this stuff out either. We want you to know that we're doing this for real. Okay? There you go. That's it now. Okay. So, with that being said, that's all you do. Do it about 10 times, you know. Now, if you have used your knife out in the field and you've done a lot of batoning with it, cut a lot of hardwood with it, or if you've accidentally went down into the dirt and hit a stone and you've got a little nick in your knife, then you're going to want to use the heavier grit. But that's all there is to it. And again, this comes from Warthog. This is the V-Sharp II. And they sell for, right now, they're $90, $89 out on their website. But I want to tell you this. This is worth mentioning to you. This is in Battle Box mission number 56, as I said. Okay, and if you get the pro level, it costs you $99.99. Okay, so you're saying, oh well, that costs more to do that. No, now listen. When you buy anything from Battle Box that's above the basic, everything that come before it, so for your $99, you're going to get everything that was in the basic box, everything that was in the advanced box, and you're going to get the pro level also, which is this Warthog sharpener. Okay, now is that worth that? You better believe it. Just quickly here, I just want to tell you this because I'm going to give you my reasoning on this. You get a value of $189.85 if you buy that. Okay, you get this sharpener and all the other gear that comes with it. So I mean, you are almost doubling your money. But if you will bone up and pay $149.95, you will get this knife. This is the Williamson Despot, which is a really handy dandy little knife right there. You see that, nice and deft in the hand, very sturdy, very stout. You get this knife and you'll get all that gear in there. So for me, you know, if I'm looking for a sharpening system, and the sharpening system is going to cost me $90 anyway, I'm going to throw in the extra $60 for it, or $50, and I'm going to get this knife, the sharpener, and all that gear. Okay, but if you don't want to, then just go on out there to Warthog. But this is one of the most simple systems that I could tell somebody that's a beginner on what you want to do. Now, if you want to be more traditional, then what I would recommend is that you go out and you buy yourself a stone, an oil stone. They're two-sided. This one happens to come from Norton. This is the 1B8. And I've had this for a very long time. Used it a lot. It's got one side for setting your edge and the other side for cleaning up, maintaining your edge. You can see that there. And all you have to do is put a little oil on there, like so. And the important thing here is to make sure that you have your edge angle correct. You want it like maybe 20 to 22 in that range. All right? And to be able to sharpen their knife, all you have to do is make sure the angle is right, and you draw it down just like so. Keep the angle straight. Don't let it slip on you. Don't let it roll. Now, also, I want to tell you this, Vicky. You don't have to press down on this like you're killing snakes, okay? You know, very, very lightly. Just draw that nice and cross there. Treat that dude with respect and show it some love. All right? Now, let's see how sharp this knife is. That's about, what, 6 strokes, something like that. Maybe you're counting, maybe you weren't. To be honest, I don't care. But let's see, is this sharp? Whoa, you see that? That is shave sharp. Hairs pop right off. Now, you can see the difference here. There's a lot of error that can happen here. If you happen to roll your knife up like this too much, or if you've got it down like this too much, you know, it ain't gonna happen for you. You can ruin your knife by doing this, and it'll take a lot of work to get it back. But if you keep it at the right angle, that thing will work for you forever. And every knife has a different voice. When you're rolling it across a stone like this, every knife, every steel has a different voice. And you'll know if you're doing it right or not by learning your knives. Okay? So that was probably about 15 more strokes that I gave it. I don't know, something like that. But this knife is sharp, and it is now ready to rock and roll, unless you want to go to another level. All right? If you want to go to another level, then you should probably strop that dude. Now I'll get that stropping to you in a second here. But one of the things that a lot of people fail to take in their kit is a strop system, or excuse me, a honing system for out in the field to put in their pack. This one by Warthog is the Warthog Field Sharpener. It's got 2 diamond plates, one that is coarse, right there, and then one that is fine, right there. And then it also has a ceramic rod with a fine and a coarse, and it also has one for doing fishing hooks. It also has a small ceramic rod for those of you that have lost your mind and you're using a serrated knife out in the field. Yeah, I don't care for serrated knives. But this also has a leather strop on the back of it, which I think is absolutely awesome. I keep this in my pack. I carry this with me. I like these, you know, and they're very, very easy to use, very clean to use. They also have an angle setting. Let me show you that, Vicky, so you can make a wise decision here. And we're talking about angles. See that right here? Warthog has already taken all the brain matter out of it for you, and all you got to do is set your angle like that and let her rip, and just keep the angle right. Just keep the angle just as you start it, right? There you go, down again. You're not resetting the edge. All you're doing is realigning that steel. What happens, you know, when you buy a knife or you get a knife from a knife maker, your steel is like this. It's pretty straight, right? Your edge is straight. But as you begin to use it, it opens up like this, right? Very minutely. I mean, you can't see it with your naked eye, but that's what happens. That's why your knife gets dull. So what a hone does is it helps you to bring that blade back in alignment, okay? And so that's what you're doing there. All right, and I recommend these, and I don't know the prices on them. I think they're somewhere around 22 to 25 bucks. Well worth the money, because as I said, they're diamond plates. You can also replace them. Magnetic, it's got a little place on the inside. That's good. Now, let's go to the next level. Let's say that you want it to be absolutely razor sharp. Then I recommend stropping it. Now this happens to be a large strop. This is an 18-inch strop because I use this to do, you know, not only knives like this and like this from Winkler, but you know, if I'm going to carry a bigger knife like this, this is it's built on the K-bar platform. It's made by Mamba Knives. You know, I don't carry this out in the field with me. Obviously, it's a Damascus dude. And it's just too pretty, you know, to be honest with you. I don't take this type of stuff out in the field. But I've got these bigger strops, or bigger strop bats, because I want to make sure that these dudes are getting all the love that they need, right? And you keep it at the same angle that you hone them at, right? This is a leather strop. On one side, it is suede, and it's loaded with stropping compound. This happens to be the green, all right? And then if you flip it over, that is plain. And all we do is we keep these oiled up. You know, you can, again, here's bush butter. Check this out. Watch what this bush butter does. It loads up into this smooth leather, and it helps to put a finer edge on what you're doing. Real fine edge. All right, so you don't need a lot of this, because once you start rubbing it with your hand, it heats up and it starts to disperse. Okay, now when you buy the pads, they're not that thin. These thin things were just pieces that were left over. Okay, everybody that buys this ends up coming back and buying more. All right, wood tramp gear. Now all you do is this. All right, so then you just do the same thing the second time around. That's it. You see what I'm doing there? Now, not only is the angle with which you do this important, but there's two other things that you need to know. Number one, you see I'm drawing it along the spine of the knife instead of along the edge. Like this is how you hone. When you're stropping a knife, you want to come backwards like this, okay? Just like that. So your angle's got to be right. You got to be drawing it along the spine. And the third element with stropping is you don't put any pressure on this. You just let the weight of the knife, all you're doing is holding its hand, helping it take a walk down that strop. That's all you're doing. Very, very light. Okay? Super light. Just let the strop do the work. You know, I've seen too many people go at this like they're trying to cut a piece of oak in half. All right, lovely. Now this is the bench size here. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, that's nice. Same thing goes with the Winkler. Here, this is the knife that you have, Vicky. All right, you keep your angle right, which is about 20 on this knife right here, about 20, and all you do is drag it along. Drag it along. See that? And you don't have to press it at all, man. All you're doing is taking it on a nice little walk here. And again, you listen to this knife, that steel will talk to you, tell you if you're abusing it, if you're doing it right, or if you're doing it wrong. Yeah, there you go. Same thing now. Oh yeah, that feels really good. My hand's going to be naked. Yeah, it's just popping right off there. You know, you're talking about something really nice. Now, this happens to be the bench size. You're not going to carry this out in the field. All right, this is 18 inches long, and these go for $49.99. All right, that might seem like a lot, but you're talking about, you know, suede on one side, smooth on the other side. You know, and the way that they come, let me show you. This is a raw one here, right here. It has no pigment in it. You can see the suede, you know, all brushed up there, and then that's all smooth on that side. This has no treatment on it, no compound at all. All right, but you're not going to carry that out in the field. So there are three other sizes that you might want to consider from Wood Tramp Gear. You know, their logo is common gear for the common man at common prices. Most strop bats that are this size are around the $100 range. You can find them on Amazon if you want to check that out. These are, like I said, $49.99. Then you've got 3 other sizes. You've got this 10-inch size that is, you can use that for your bench as well. That's what it's designed for, as a bench. And then you have got this size here. This is 6-inch by 3-inch, or a little under 3 inches, something like that. And you can use this for a bench or a field strop. And then this particular size here that is 6-inch by 1.5 inches is perfect. It's much like this. See that? They're just about the same, except you got a little more surface edge here to be able to service your knife. Very, very simple stuff. Price on these, this is $13.95. The 6x3 is $19.99, and the full 10-inch is $26.95. And then again, the big guys and the different names for these. You have to look on the website, but this one here is called the Boone, named after Daniel Boone. This one here is called the Crockett, after Davy Crockett. This one here is called the Kephart, and this one here is called the Nessmuk. All right, all great names in wilderness lore for sure. So you really want to get your knife right, you want to hone it right, and you want to be able to strop it right. Hang tight. Rocky and I were talking about this Warthog last time that we had this sharpener out, and he was asking me if I had done anything with a pocket knife, and I'll just show you this right now. This happens to be a CRKT M21. It's the Kit Carson one, but yeah, same exact thing. Look at that. I love this dude. So get out on their website, Warthog, or as I said, if you really want to get a blast of a bargain, get on BattleBox's website and ask them if they have any more of these missions left. And again, this was mission number 56, and I've always said you get a lot of bang for your buck. So if you spend that $149, you're not only going to get the Warthog sharpener, but you're also going to get that Williamson Despot knife, which is an awesome knife. I like that. Okay, that one was no problem. And then this one here, oh, look here. Remember what this is? This is the Gray Mantiga, and guess what? Nominated for Folder of the Year. Look at this. Works well on any kind of knife. Any kind of knife at all. Right? All kinds of folders. Let me see. What's another one here? Oh, Lord. Oh, look at that. Yeah. I like that knife as well. And then again, all you got to do is drop it, and you're good to go. So, Vicki, I hope this video has helped you out. Appreciate the email. Anybody else? Email us at any time. We try to get to the emails that are most pertinent of something that might be a new question, because we get a lot of repeat stuff. So, until next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you're handling a knife, you be safe out there. Thing will cut you.